on the StarWwad show. I'm excited to come back to you guys this week with another episode. And I've been thinking about you guys all week because I'm so excited for the overwhelming support I had to this YouTube channel. I cannot thank you enough. I'm very grateful. And so I have very exciting stuff. I was thinking about the whole goal setting stuff, and I was like, oh, maybe we should continue on it. So stay tuned for what we have today on goal setting. So last week I met a guy and his name is Ben. I think he was at the Domino store. I met him there. I think he was waiting for his ride. And so I got into a chat with him because, hey, I'm pumped. I'm on goals. I'm like, oh, I'm this motivational speaker, like to mentor, encourage, challenge people. So I'm like, hey, Ben, let's get into a discussion. What are your goals? You're at the Domino's. You're working there. What are you up to? And he's like, oh, I want to be a franchise owner. I'm like, wow, nice. He's like, oh yeah, I'm the manager. I'm one of the shift managers. I'm like, okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. So I was like, okay, so what are you saying for yourself? What are your goals? And he's like, well, I want to be a franchise owner. I'm sure I'm gonna have to be a district manager before getting there. I'm a manager right now, and hopefully I get a car very soon. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm like, okay. Ben doesn't have a car, and he wants to be a franchise owner. So I'm like, okay, what's your plan to getting this car? And Ben is like, well, I want to get a car, say in 6 months. I'm like, okay, good. Well, he has some big goals, he has some big dreams, he kind of has a plan. But guess what? Here's the tipping point. I'm like, okay, so what's your plan to getting this car in 6 months? He's like, you know what? I really don't have a plan. I was like, what? So I was like, okay, this is a good teaching moment for me because I was like, okay, I've been talking about this goal, so how can I help Ben? So I was like, well, you know what? It's really great for you to want to be a franchise owner of a Domino's. That's a big dream. And at least, you have to become a district manager. You need to become a manager. And he's like, oh, they earn a lot of money. But I'm like, you got to have a laid out plan. How many years from now do you want to be the district owner? How many years from now do you want to be a franchise owner? All right. And I'm like, okay, you want to get this car in 6 months, we got to have a laid down plan. You got to tell me. I'm like, how much are you saving? He's like, I'm not saving anything. I'm like, how long have you been working? He's like, over a year. So Ben has been working at Domino's for over a year. He has zero savings. He wants to get a car. He's been getting rides from his friends, riding the Via, and he just knows he wants to get somewhere, but he has no roadmap to take him there, right? So I'm like, okay, you need to start saving. You need to be like, okay, this is how much I make from my paycheck, and I'm gonna be able to live on this amount of money, and I'm gonna be able to save this amount of money to get me to this car. So I'm like, wow, this is great for me for the whole goal setting, because a lot of people have goals like that. They think they have goals, but really a goal without a plan is just a wish. All right, you can say I want to get I want to get a Lamborghini like myself. I'm dreaming of getting one day, but I really don't have a plan now as to getting it. But at least I have a plan to get out of debt so that I can save. I can start working towards that. So I'm like, you need to have a plan. You need to have like steps. So for Ben, I would say the first thing is to think about, okay, how much am I making and how much can I save towards getting this car? How much do I want to get a car for? And he told me something like $2,000. That's good. So 6 months from now, maybe if he saved like $200 every paycheck, it could get him to his goal. But something like that is more like a plan towards the goal of getting a car in 6 months or by December. So what's the morale? What am I trying to say today? What I'm trying to say is, if you have a goal, like I had a goal to start a channel, or I have a goal right now to, get out of debt in 6 months, you have to have a plan. And I have my laid out plan of how much I have to make, and I'm working towards it. At the end of the 6 months, at the end of, by December, believe me, I'm going to be telling you I'm done with this. I'm going to lay out everything to you. But if you are out there like Ben and you're like, oh, I want to get a car in 6 months, I want to get a car by December, you're probably a college student and oh, this is summer, you are maybe a freshman or sophomore, and you're like, okay, I've been getting rides the whole first year and I want to get a car of my own. And this is summer. This is a great time for you to be like, okay, I'm going to put in extra hours of work. I'm going to save up $300 every month or every paycheck, and I'm going to get me a car. That's more like a plan. And how much is my car? How much is the car that I want to get? The car that I want to get is, say, $2,000. There are good cars out there. I know some people who get cars or sell cars at that price. But you know, once you set up something like that, okay, every paycheck I'm going to get this out, $300 for 6 months. I'm going to be able to get enough money for my car. That is a goal that is tangible. All right. When you think of goals, I want you to think of SMART. A goal is SMART. A goal is SMART. And what is SMART? A goal is specific. All right. That's S. S is for specific. It could also be simple. You know, you can put whatever you want to it, but that's it. SMART, specific. A goal is supposed to be M, measurable. All right. A goal is also supposed to be A, attainable. You got to be able to get to something. You got to be able to say that this is what I want to get. This is my goal, and you're supposed to be able to attain that goal. A goal is supposed to be R, realistic. It's supposed to be realistic, and T is supposed to be tangible. Tangible. At the end of my goal, is this going to be something that I'm going to be able to say I moved from point A to point B? It's supposed to be tangible. We're supposed to be able to measure it. So SMART. S is for what? Specific. Specific. I want to get a car. That's good. M is supposed to be measurable. I want to get a Toyota, a Camry, a Hyundai, 2007, 2012, 2013, whatever. You know, all right. It's supposed to be A, attainable. Can you afford that 2016, 2012 Toyota Camry? If you say you're gonna get a Lamborghini working at a Domino's, you probably are gonna spend the rest of your life trying to save up to get it. All right. And it's supposed to be realistic. The same thing. It's supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to be something within your capacity. Am I able to work this? How many hours can I work to get to this goal? How much can I put in? How much can I save? It's supposed to be realistic. Don't say I'm going to I'm going to make $1,000 and I'm going to save $1,000. How are you going to get right? How are you going to pay for your expenses? It's supposed to be realistic, and it's supposed to be tangible. All right. Like I said, at the end of the 6-month period, you're supposed to be able to be like, oh, I moved from point A to point B, and everyone is going to be able to trace the path to your goal. And so if you have that in mind, think about it. All right. Think about what you can do. I want to save 10%. I want to save 20%. I want to save however much. We're talking about money today. I don't know why. I like money. All right. So think about that and work towards that. And that was my simple advice to Ben. And I figured it's something that a lot of people go through. It's something that I went through, thinking about goals and when I did not know how a goal is supposed to be. And for the longest, I kept on wishing, because like I said, a goal without a plan is a wish. So you don't want to live the rest of your life wishing, and then at 40 you get into a midlife crisis because you are like, oh, I wanted to do this, but you really had no plan. So you don't want to be in that situation. So start early, start now. It's never too late. And guess what? The second thing I want to say about goals is you might fail. All right. On this show, we are shooting for the stars. That means we want to get a Lamborghini, we want to get nice houses and whatever. But guess what? If we miss the stars, if we cannot get to the stars, we definitely are going to get to the sky. So if you do not succeed at that goal, set a new one. All right. Don't be discouraged. Albert Einstein said, success is failure in progress. All right. You can't say, oh, I failed and I cannot do it. To hell with that. All right. Just forget it. go again. Go at it again. If you wanted to save $1,000 and you ended up saving $500, guess what? That's 500 more than you had before. So think about it in that way. Don't be discouraged when you fail. All right, don't be discouraged when you fail. And what's the third thing I want to say is get feedback. Evaluate yourself. Talk to people. The people you hang out with, the people you associate with. If you are trying to save up money and get a car, you better not be hanging around with people who are partying every night. All right, that's not gonna help you. That's not gonna cut it. You are supposed to hang out with people who are like, man, I'm trying to save up too. I'm trying to get a car. So you guys can be looking for cars that are within your range so that you guys can, always talk about like, oh man, you can't spend that money because you have to, save it up towards your car. You need to be around people who are going to encourage you, who are going to boost you up, who are going to boost your morale, not people who are going to be like, oh, let's go to the bar tonight. That's not going to help you. Hang out around the right people, all right? And get feedback. If you don't know how well you did or what caused you to fail when you set that goal, you're not still going to succeed in the next goal you set. So what am I trying to say? Set realistic goals, all right? Set smart goals. And do not be afraid when you fail. Do not be discouraged when you fail. And lastly, hang around people who have a like mind. Hang around people who can challenge you. And that's what I'm here doing today, because like so many of you, and I'm challenging and I'm challenging myself, because many times we set goals, we fail, but we need to hang around someone who tells us that, hey, believe me, you can do it. I failed so many times, all right? However, you can do it. I failed, but I'm here today. So remember, the StarWwad show is to encourage, is to motivate, and is to challenge you. So if you're feeling down and you're feeling like, oh, you messed up, hey, just watch the show. You're gonna be pumped up and you're gonna get going. So it's time to evaluate. It's June. It's evaluate your 6-month goal and set new goals for the rest of the year. And I'm sure you're gonna do great, all right? Believe in yourself. You can do it. Believe in yourself. I believe in you. I believe in myself. And hey, there's a lot more people who believe in you than you even know. So there's a lot more people who are gonna celebrate your success than people who are going to bash you when you fail. So stay positive, think big, and don't be discouraged. And until next time, I will see you again. And remember, we are shooting for the stars. If we miss it, hey, the sky is going to be our limit. All right? Have a great day, and I'm going to see you on another episode of the StarWwad Show.